Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube NFL prediction segment. I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 2 of 2023 NFL season. Well, first up, Thursday night game, we got Minnesota at Philadelphia. Now it's hard to really gauge, where these teams are in terms of their caliber. I'm not just talking about the teams in this game. I'm talking about all the teams in the NFL right now. Their caliber at this point of the season, very early. Philadelphia just barely got by New England last week. Minnesota lost a tough game, and looking at this, Philadelphia at home just basically on virtue of the home field advantage and coupled with the fact this is a short week for both teams, generally goes to the home team, and also Philadelphia is just the better team as of right now. Minnesota had come up with 13-4 season, and they couldn't even get the job done last week against a team I thought they should have beat, had potential to beat. Philadelphia, at least they got their W. So based on what we have right now, what I've seen early on, I'll take the Eagles. Now the next game got the Green Bay Packers at the Atlanta Falcons. Now both teams come off wins last week. Green Bay may have had the more impressive win, even though they dominated Chicago in recent time, and they continued their domination last week against them. But this week, I'm going to take reluctantly. I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons at home to get this one done. I've got to see, with Jordan Love on Green Bay, if how long, can he keep up, the way he played last week. Is it going to continue? It's one thing, you beat your divisional opponent. It was a good win on the road for them. Now they got to go on the road again against a team, it's unfamiliar to them. So I would give the advantage to Atlanta at the home team this one. So I'll take the Falcons at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Las Vegas. Now I'm actually, Las Vegas is going to be at Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo at home to rebound. A very disheartening, heartbreaking loss to the New York Jets this past week, and they that game could have gone either way. The Jets had a miraculous victory. Aaron Rodgers, is out for the now. But as far as this game goes, I think Josh Allen and company have a bounce back game being at Buffalo. Las Vegas just got by Denver last week. Buffalo, it's hard for me to envision them starting the season 0-2. I don't think that's going to happen with them. I still think they're going to win this division, the AFC East, when it's all said and done. I don't think they're going to renounce this title to anybody this year. So I'm going to, and I think they get on the right track in this game. So I'm going to take Buffalo at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I understand Cincinnati's at home, and they may be the defending AFC North champions. But when I look, based on it's just 1 week, but what happened last week? The debacle Cincinnati had at Cleveland, and Joe Burrow just did not look good at all. I don't know if whatever he had his surgery on, if that's still affecting him maybe. Um, Baltimore, showed some ravenous defense last week, and they played very well, both sides of the ball. Um, I think they're a complete team. They may actually win that division this season. I'm going to take. I'm just not sure about Joe Burrow. We're going to find out more. I think based on how he plays this coming week and see where he's at with his injury. I'm going to take Baltimore on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle did not look good last week, and Detroit Lions, they beat the defending Super Bowl champions on the road. It was a tough win, and it was a very good win for them. And last year they were like 8-2 in their final 10 games, and they barely missed the playoffs. And this season they could very well get in the playoffs. And Seattle right now, I mean, they had a very poor game last week, and I'm not sure what happened. They had some high hopes this season. Will they get it together? Well, we're going to find out soon enough. But I really like right now the Lions right now look like the better team. I'm going to take them at home. Now the next game, we got the LA Chargers at the Tennessee Titans. And, you know, just 1 week so far, you can't really make, full-fledged analysis on anybody based on that. But right now, the Chargers just look like, they're the superior team over the Tennessee Titans. And a lot of times when we undervalue or underestimate Tennessee, they wind up winning. But the Chargers have played, the Titans tough in recent time, and you also have Tennessee Titans offense. Just seems like it's having a lot of struggles, since about the midway point of last season, and now we're looking at them, and even with Ryan Tannehill under center, they only put up like 15 points last week. I'm just not sure. They're going to have to get some continuity on offense and start playing cohesively. It's going to take some time, I think, for DeAndre Hopkins to gel with the offense. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get things going in the right direction this week. The Chargers, I don't know if the Titans can really put up enough points to even keep up with the Chargers in this one. So I'm going to take the LA Chargers to get this one done on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take Tampa Bay to get this done at home against the Chicago Bears. Chicago just did not look good. They looked abysmal last week, and that was a home game for them. Now they got to go on the road against Tampa Bay, who got their W last week. And, Tampa Bay is going to see, how they're doing now in the post-Tom Brady era. And I think they're going to get this win. They're going to start out 2-0. And, Chicago is just, they seem to be in this constant rebuilding reclamation mode. So I'm going to take, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get this done at home. Now the next game. Well, I'm going to take the Chiefs to win at Jacksonville. This game is very compelling because you look at this, Jacksonville played KC last season in the playoffs. They made it a very tough game for the Chiefs. They hung in there with them for a good part of the game. And, it's really like a barometer game for Jacksonville. Jacksonville should somehow pull this off. We're going to be, looking at Jacksonville really as a team, even though it would be 2 games in the season, as a legitimate, viable contender to come out of the AFC. But, Kansas City, they are the defending Super Bowl champions. It's hard for me to see them starting out 0-2. They got their, defensive guy back, and they also, I believe Travis, got that new deal with them. And you also have Travis Kelce. I don't know his status. I believe he should be back, and if he's back, and I believe it's Chris Jones, I'm saying the name right for Kansas City. If they have both these players back, they should get this win. But it is going to be on the road against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is really, they're a very good team. But I think Kansas City just it barely gets this done on the road. Now the next game. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to win on the road against the Houston Texans. It's really just about the fact that Houston, Indy is just a little bit better than Houston. I think their offense is a little bit better than Houston right now. And we're going to see how, things go with the Texans. Are they going to be able, to get their first win this season? This is like, rebuilding. They're really, the Colts and Houston appear to be in some kind of rebuilding mode, but the Colts just have a little bit better personnel, I think, right now than the Texans, and I do like them to get the W on the road. Now the next game. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers on the road to beat the LA Rams. Now, Both teams had impressive wins last week. San Francisco is one of the favorites to come out of the NFC, and the Rams right now, I think they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder because they didn't, really live up to expectations last season. They want to get back to their Super Bowl form that they had 2 years ago. They want to show that that hasn't completely dissipated, but I think right now, the 49ers, between their offense and defense and having Christian McCaffrey, and they really have, just a better team pound for pound right now. And will the Rams have an answer for Christian McCaffrey? I'm not sure if they're going to. And I think, when I look at this, I think, for me, the 49ers should get this one done. I'm going to pick them to win on the road. Now, the next game, we got the New York Giants at the Arizona Cardinals, but I'm going to take, I got to take emotion out of the equation when I do these predictions. Being from New York, I'm a Giants fan, and I would like to pick them, but the Giants really have not looked good over the last 2 games. When you look at regular season, this season they were obliterated last week, 40-0 by the Cowboys. And then in that last game of their season, last season, playoff game, they only put up like 7 points. You're talking like 7 points in 2 games. And I mean, can they even get 17 in this one? Because they're probably going to need 17 points at least to beat the Arizona Cardinals. And I don't know if they can do that. I got to see what's going to happen with their offense. So the jury's still out on that. So I'm going to take the Cardinals to get this done at home. Now, the next game, we got the New York Jets at the Dallas Cowboys. Well, the Jets had a really good win this past week, and Aaron Rodgers, many of you know, is out. He's out for the season, and the Jets are going to be essentially trying to get this done on smoke and mirrors, and I just don't know. They can sustain what they did last week. It was an emotional victory for them. And, now it's a little bit, of a shorter week for them. They got to go on the road and play a Dallas Cowboys team that's, I would say, is one of the best teams in the NFC. I mean, Dallas last week, again, they obliterated the New York Giants. And they didn't even really get much from Dak Prescott, and they still put up 40 points on the board. And the Jets, the only shot they have in this game is to, basically play good defense, have a conservative offense. Not take any, not do anything too audacious, not throw the ball too far, too long. Zach Wilson is going to be the starter, and, we're just going to have to play a very careful game. The Jets have some weapons on offense, when you're talking about Dalvin Cook, and, you're really looking at, a team that could actually, where the offense is really not bad, but the quarterback is the big question mark, and that's going to be something to keep an eye on. So, but now there's just some question marks with the Jets with their offense, but I'm going to take Dallas to get this done at home. Now the next game, well, I'm going to take Denver at home against the Washington Commanders. Now Denver, it's funny that, last week, Denver Broncos, they looked like, it was just like a repeat of last season. That game they had, that was like a typical game they had last season when you got Sean Payton as the new coach, and supposedly would try to revive Russell Wilson's career, and it just looks like so far it's early, but it's not going the right direction. But Denver, I think they're going to rebound and get this done. I think Russell Wilson is going to eventually start to play better this season than he did last season. I think it may start this week against the Washington Commanders, and I'm going to take Denver to get this done at home. Well, now the next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. New England actually did not look too bad last week. They did everything but beat the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. And Miami put up like 36 points last week. I think, when I look at the offenses more especially, I like Miami to get this job done. I don't know how Mac Jones is going to be under the duress. He was one of the worst, I believe, in the NFL under the pressure last season. So I'm going to I think Miami's front four can make the difference, and the fact that their offense is better than New England's. I'll take Miami to get this done on the road. Now let's see. Next game. Well, the next game I'm going to take. Well, the New Orleans Saints on the road against the Carolina Panthers, and again, it's very early. It's hard to gauge these teams right now. But I'm going to take the Saints to win this one. I just like, the Saints quarterback is better than the Carolina quarterback right now. I believe in with Derek Carr under center. And, I like what New Orleans did last week with the cornerbacks on the Titans, especially. The defense really surprised me. It really was very tight. And, the receivers for the Titans were having all kinds of problems against that secondary for the Saints. And I think the secondary for the Saints may very well make the difference in this game. And I don't know if, Carolina, they just did not. I mean, that was one game, but, I think it's going to take some time for that team to gel. So I'm going to take the Saints on the road. Now, last but not least, the Cleveland Browns are going to be at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, I'll take Cleveland to get this done on the road reluctantly. I understand Pittsburgh's, they're a hard-nosed team under Mike Tomlin, and they generally don't lose, consecutive games with him at the helm. But Cleveland Browns right now, the way, when again going to the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson, I think they have the edge against the Pittsburgh quarterback. And also, I like the pass rush with Denver, with Cleveland as well, and I think that could be enough. I mean, I understand Pittsburgh's got their own decent pass rush with the T.J. Watt, but I think Cleveland's pass rush is going to be, superior to the offensive line for Pittsburgh. I think that's going to make a very big difference in this game. So I like Cleveland to get this done in a tight one on the road. So I'm going to take the Browns on the road over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.